Fellas, we are so close to getting this car out on the road and having some fun with it. We just have a few more chores left. So last time we took care of the harmonic balancer removal with the front main seal replacement and then the motor mounts. Today we're going to work on the shifter bushing and the K&N air filter. All of these driveway tasks were done in one day, and as the sun was starting to set, my camera time was becoming more and more infrequent. Thankfully, there's YouTube to fill in the gaps, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I will say for this next section with the shifter bushing, I did not remove the drive shaft or the exhaust. I just unbolted the heat shield around the exhaust, and that gave me ample room to squeeze my tiny little girlish fingers in there and remove the clips that I needed to get that shifter loose. The next big thing to do is my shifter bushing, and I don't really have the time to keep documenting every little step of the way. Plus, it's really hard to see, so I'm going to show you what it's like as we're going along with it. First of all, you just pull the knob straight up and out. A little bit, give it a small twist, but not much. Just pull it straight up. Don't knock yourself in the face. And then when that comes out, you can just pop this whole cover on. There's no need to separate the boot from this, or not even a need to disconnect it. It's not going to be a problem right there. There's a sound insulating foam. And then this carpet piece here that needs to kind of pull up. It is connected in a few spots, but it's kind of perforated, so you can just pull it out quickly. That's sort of how you know if anyone's ever been in here before, is if that carpet's been ripped or not. And then a rubber boot with a really thick lip on it. Thankfully, mine's still intact. And you pull that up, and then there's a second portion of the boot, this one here, which is going to be fun to get back on, which attaches around the shifter cup. And then after you do that, you can see the ball of the shifter in there with a white bushing. This is where all of my slop is. Real sloppy. Now I'm going to pull this out, and then I'll show you how that shifter looks. You just rotate it clockwise a little bit and pull out. Yeah, that's it. Have a look at the sloppiness in the ball here, and you can kind of get an idea of why we have so much shifter play. Wow, that's real sloppy. My sloppy Joe is all sloppy.
And no Joe. I forgot to add the meat. How could I be so freaking stupid?
There's a bushing inside of here. No need to mess with that. And of course there's a pin. That pin attaches to the shifter arm, but that shifter arm has a clip on the right side, and there's a lot of videos on that, and I'll try to put in a picture right here.
Remove the shifter selector rod. The rod is secured to the bottom of the shifter and the transmission forward connector via snap clips. We'll remove the clips and then pull the rod out of the shifter and the connector up front.
So you can see the clip I'm talking about. You pop the clip, push the rod through, save your plastic washers on either side, and then you come inside the car and take care of the shifter from the top. We're going to pop this guy out, put in the new one, grease the snot out of it, stick her back on the car. June of 2003. This just pops out of the shifter. Nothing fancy about it. Oh, hey, yeah, another thing to mention. This is a nylon ball, so it's going to be pretty worn out as well. Look at that. Looks like a piece of wood that's just been through a lifetime of wear and tear. So you really want to replace your shifter when you get a chance, but I'll be okay. I'll live. The shifter went back in without any drama, and now we're going to switch gears over to the K&N air filter. I had the used air filter come with the car, and it was really dirty, so I took the spray, sprayed it liberally across the surface, let it soak in, and then rinsed it out. Here's a demonstration from another YouTube video that I found.
Go ahead and take the filter cleaner. Now K&N says to liberally apply on both sides of the filter and then let it sit for 10 minutes before you rinse off.
It should be said here that the cleaning spray should not be allowed to dry on the filter surface. All it does is kind of lift the dust out, and then you rinse it out one way only. Let the filter air dry for, at least a couple hours, depending on where you live. And then as you spray the new oil on, take care not to over oil the filter, but you can see that it's gray when it's clean, and then as it gets sprayed, it returns to that K&N traditional purplish pinkish color. Okay, my next task is going to be, now that it's oiled, is replacing that K&N filter. It's got a little bit of nice color in here. You see a few spots where the oil drops have kind of coagulated. They haven't absorbed into the material. I'm sure when the air starts flowing through, it will, no problem. And I only oiled the one side because I don't want to ruin the MAF with too much oil. And this guy, in all honesty, he's holding up okay, but It's the man filter, and I wonder if having the BMW stamped on it means that they are the OE supplier, which seems to be the case for a lot of things. It's not terrible. A little puff of dust comes out of it. So let's see if we have any noticeable improvement with the K&N filter, or if it's just a bunch of hullabaloo. You know, as I'm making this video here in San Diego, I just got the idea. Let's go look at our filter. We're 1,000 miles later, and we'll see how those oil drops have absorbed into the element, or if it is just a bunch of hullabaloo. There's the ocean. Hey, where's my air filter? Yeah, the business side really doesn't look that bad. All the oil is absorbed, more or less. 1,000 miles in, and it's pretty good. It's okay. You know, I'm so skeptical because it looks like such a thin filter element. You know, you can see the shadow of my hand behind it here. Does it really filter that well? I'd like to know what material this is inside. Let me say this for K&N filters. It's $55 for a lifetime filter. It's got a lifetime guarantee on it. But at the same time, you could get a Cortico filter from FCP Euro or the Man filter, any brand, for a fraction of the cost. So what I'm thinking is, why bother with a filter that you have to clean when you can just get regular filters with standard service intervals and just replace them once a year? There's no extra service procedure. The K&N filter gets 50,000 miles. The other filters just say, what, replace once a year or so? Maybe even less frequently than that. So it's really up to you. I'm probably just gonna go back to a paper filter because I didn't notice any improvement in my fuel economy or power delivery. So unless I'm maybe going with a cone filter and a heat shield around, but if you live in a dusty state, that might not be a great option. It'll still filter out. It's you're just gonna be cleaning it more frequently. So, and there's a little bit more engine heat that way. I like to stick with the stock airbox unless I'm really building something, and I'm not. This is just a daily driver. All right, back to the video. So our first indicator of a problem will be a check engine light if we have over-oiled the filter, and that will basically be getting oil on the MAF sensor, which you don't want. She sounds fun. Can't be sure if it feels any more zippy or not until we go for a drive. Also, with the hood up, it's gonna sound a little bit nicer too, I'm sure. So I'm gonna let it breathe for a few minutes and see if that helps kind of settle the oil in at all or not. In the meantime, this headlight here is definitely gonna need some cleaning. You can see there's a nice streaky haze right in the front there. Oof. Looks like most of the mechanical work is done unless something else comes up. Hint, hint for future videos. But now we're gonna work on some cosmetic bits, namely getting the hood polished and these headlights while we're at it. So stay tuned for the next episode. As always, thank you for watching. Leave your thumbs up below, that'll help me out a lot. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in a couple days.